What's going on, golfers? Today we're diving into a high-stakes gear battle between two Callaway drivers that honestly couldn't be more different. We've got the Epic Speed and the Paradym. On one side, you've got a club built for absolute, pure speed with aero shaping. On the other, a massive chassis redesign with a 360-degree carbon body.
Right, and that brings up the ultimate question for your wallet and your game, guys. Is the shiny new Paradym actually worth the extra money? Or is the older Epic Speed still more than good enough to keep in your bag? Welcome to Golf Gear Showdown, where real gear goes head-to-head. I'm Jake, the everyday golfer. And I'm Mike, the data guy. Look, if you're tired of vague reviews and just want to know which club is actually going to help your swing and save you some cash, you literally cannot escape this explainer.
Okay, picture this. You're standing in the golf shop, staring at the rack. On your right is the Paradym, looking incredibly premium and promising to fix your game. On your left is the 2021 legend, the Epic Speed, sitting there with a massive discount tag. You gotta pick one, but the marketing hype is just deafening. We know exactly why you're confused right now. And hey, I'm gonna leave an open loop for you guys. Just wait until we hit the price and adjustability round. It might completely shock the average golfer and flip this entire board upside down. Absolutely. The Epic Speed was built around one major goal: reducing drag and increasing club head speed, period. But then the Paradym came along and Callaway basically rebuilt the driver from the ground up. So we're gonna cut right through the marketing jargon and run a direct head-to-head battle.
So here is our fight card for today's showdown. We'll start with the setup, then we move into rounds 1 and 2 for distance and forgiveness. Rounds 3 and 4 will cover accuracy and feel. Round 5 is all about adjustability and price, followed by the biggest buying mistakes, and finally, our final verdict.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, Epic versus Paradym setup, core engineering.
Okay, so let's look at the core engineering philosophies separating these two beasts, because before we even swing the club, you really have to understand what the engineers were trying to achieve here. Look at the sheer difference in materials. The Epic Speed relies heavily on its cyclone arrow shape to reduce drag during the downswing, and it uses the jailbreak speed frame to stabilize the face. It's a pure, unadulterated speed focus. The Paradym, on the other hand, features a 360 carbon chassis. They completely removed titanium from the main body, replacing it with triaxial carbon in the crown and forged carbon in the sole. That is a massive 44% weight savings compared to a standard titanium chassis. This lets them reposition all that weight for a huge boost in MOI, which just means the club resists twisting when you don't hit it perfectly.
I gotta jump in right here. Mike, those specs look really pretty on paper, man, but as a 15 handicapper, let me tell you the actual course reality. Your real scores are saved on the mishits, not the bombs. It's great that the Paradym has a fancy forged carbon sole, but what actually matters to the everyday American golfer is what happens when you completely miss the center of the face on a chilly Saturday morning with your buddies. Section 2, Distance and Forgiveness. This is where we get into rounds 1 and 2.
Fair point, Jake. Let's see how that engineering translates to the raw performance metrics everyday golfers obsess over. Round 1 is distance. The Paradym's AI-designed face and that repositioned weight generally give it the edge in ball speed, especially when you hit it out of the center.
But hang on a second, the Epic Speed is absolutely no slouch here.
Real golfers are reporting the Epic Speed is really only about 4 to 5 miles per hour slower than the absolute newest drivers on the market. Out on the course, that translates to roughly a 10 to 12 yard distance difference. So yes, the Paradym is longer, for sure, but 10 to 12 yards is a totally acceptable gap when you factor in the massive price difference. Still, we gotta call it fairly. For round 1, Paradym takes it, but honestly, only if you're the type of golfer chasing every single yard.
All right, let's move to round 2, forgiveness. This is where that 44% weight savings on the Paradym actually comes into play for us normal guys. Because they move that weight low and back, it drastically increases that MOI Mike just talked about. If you're a golfer who constantly misses out on the toe or chunks it off the heel, the Paradym specifically punishes you way less because the club head stays incredibly stable through impact. Now, the Epic Speed has decent forgiveness, but remember, it was built for speed first. The Paradym is just noticeably more consistent on your worst swings.
So, marking the scorecard here, I'm officially scoring the first 2 rounds for the Paradym. It wins distance and it wins forgiveness. But that comes with the massive asterisk. It's only the clear winner for golfers who have the budget for it or who struggle heavily with consistency.
Exactly right. But before you guys make up your minds, rounds 3 and 4 uncover the hidden psychological side of golf. It's a factor that literally costs you strokes before you even pull the club back. Let's get into it.
Section 3, Accuracy and Feel. Let's tee up rounds 3 and 4.
Welcome to rounds 3 and 4,
accuracy, control, and the deeply subjective confidence factor. I'll take the lead on feel, because this matters so much on the first tee. The Epic Speed has a firmer, kind of higher-pitched sound to it. It's slightly more compact at address, which better players actually love because it looks workable. But the Paradym, man, it sounds deep and solid because of all that carbon. It feels incredibly premium, and it looks slightly stretched out behind the ball. Listen, if a club makes you nervous at address, you're dead in the water. The Paradym's massive footprint gives you instant confidence.
And that physical design actually translates directly to the accuracy data too. In the standard model, the Paradym features a sliding weight that physically offers up to 12 yards of shot shape correction. If you fight a nasty slice, this can literally save your round. However, a huge warning here for everyday golfers: stay far away from the Paradym Triple Diamond model unless you are a low handicapper. It's only 450 cc's and way less forgiving. Okay, tallying it up. Paradym wins round 3 for accuracy and takes a very narrow, highly subjective win in round 4 for feel. So Paradym is definitely pulling ahead on the board right now. But do not click away. We are about to hit the looming price round, and I'm telling you, it might just flip this entire showdown on its head.
Section 4. Adjustability and price. Here come rounds 5 and 6.
All right, round 5, I'm taking the reins here because this is probably the most polarizing part of this entire explainer, the wallet test. When we talk about physically wrenching on the club, the Paradym has a distinct advantage. Notice the 15-gram sliding perimeter weight on the Paradym. It is vastly more effective for custom fitting your swing than the Epic Speed's simpler fixed weight setup. You can actually dial in your precise center of gravity. But here is my smart shopper move for the everyday golfer. The Epic Speed is a few years older now, right? You can easily find it on the used market in great condition or even as new old stock and save a massive $200 to $300 compared to the Paradym's premium launch pricing. Round 5 value absolutely 100% goes to the Epic Speed. That is a lot of money you could be spending on greens fees or, let's be honest, much needed lessons.
Section 5. The biggest buying mistakes. How to avoid these common traps. Let's hit pause on the battle for just a second. We really need to warn you about the traps that lead to wasted money and higher scores. Listen to me, guys. Mistake number 1, assuming newer is always better. It is not. If you buy a Paradym without actually testing it, you might play worse than you would with a well-fit Epic Speed. Mistake number 2, ignoring shaft flex and weight. I've got a buddy who bought a shiny new driver right off the rack without checking the shaft flex, and it completely ruined his weekend rounds. I don't care how much space-age carbon fiber is in the club head, an improperly fit driver is absolutely useless to you. And mistake 3, buying solely based on distance. Gaining 10 extra yards straight into the woods doesn't help your scorecard. Consistency is king.
Section 6, the final verdict. Let's find out who wins.
Really well said, Jake. Now, let's enter the final round to definitively assign a winner for every single type of golfer out there on the course. Looking at Callaway's lineup, we're going to act as your ultimate matchmaker here. Let's figure out exactly who should buy what.
All right, let's rapid fire this. Complete beginners or budget-conscious buyers, go get the Epic Speed. Take that $300 in savings and buy some lessons. Slicers, mid-handicappers, and consistency seekers, the Paradym standard model takes the crown for you. The adjustability is going to help keep you in the short grass. Seniors and slower swing speeds under 85 miles per hour, grab the Paradym X for that higher launch. And for the low handicappers, man, it's a dead tie. Both the Epic Speed and Paradym Triple Diamond models are incredible. It just comes down to your personal feel.
So, to summarize this epic battle, Paradym undoubtedly takes the overall tech and performance crown. The 360 carbon chassis is a genuine, undeniable engineering upgrade, but the Epic Speed remains an absolute steal for smart buyers, comfortably taking home the value trophy.
Now we're turning it over to you. Are you Team Epic Speed or are you Team Paradym? Drop your handicap and your driver choice in the comments below right now so the Golf Gear Showdown community can keep this debate alive. What matters most to you? Is it distance, forgiveness, or just keeping some extra cash in your wallet? If this explainer helped you out, hit subscribe so you never miss our next head-to-head gear battle.